And I think this track is like a typical case where every element needs like maybe 5% more work to make the entire track better.
You're ugly as beautiful to me, so stay.
It was nice here outside of the city, but it's time to head back.
Let's run away and see what we could be.
Back at home, Vanessa's always waving, saying bye to her parents, which is kind of cute. And we got a lot of leftovers from the party, a lot of food, so we don't have to worry about it for probably the next 1 or 2 days. Yeah. And I'm actually allowed to show them this.
Yeah.
But that's not Vanessa's.
Well, it's Vanessa's sister.
Yeah, his sister is pregnant. This was the big, great news yesterday evening at the party. We already knew, but not everyone else. And this right here is interesting. It's not as interesting as this right here, but there's like a small post about me in one of the biggest newspapers here in the area. Not bad. It was for this event up there in the bar on Thursday. And also, by the way, the Tour de France started this year right here in Düsseldorf, which was really cool. The entire city was excited. I just left with Vanessa. We didn't want to have all of the trouble because we lived pretty close to the city center and all of the roads were blocked and a whole lot of security and all these kind of things. And probably now just sitting there watching a little bit of Netflix and then later just doing the next edition of Track Submits. I haven't done one in a while. It's about time. We're finally all done with House of Cards. Was again, as always, really good. Now we just need to find another TV show that is as good as House of Cards. Still waiting for Stranger Things season 2, but that's, I think, yeah, at the end of October to Halloween. Let's get straight into track number 1 for the track submits. The first track is by a producer called Broken Fingers, and it's his first release on SoundCloud. And I think it was going like into a direction of like, I think dubstep. It's actually dubstep, and the beginning of the track is more future bass.
No mercy.
Yeah, I really like that combination. It's a little weird. I have to get used to it because future bass is like chilled and dubstep like very rough and energetic, but it kind of works. He made it work. He has kind of 2 tracks combined in one, and sometimes it's more important that people will remember your track instead of making something that just blends into all of those other tracks that are already being released. And I will definitely not forget this track, and whenever I hear someone else making kind of the same, I will always think of this track. The mixing is good, the arrangement is good, I like the melodies, the sounds that are used. The dubstep parts could be maybe even a little bit more complex, because dubstep usually has like 20 sampled, wobbling, synthy sounds in just a couple of seconds, so there could be maybe even more, but I'm not really sure. I'm not a dubstep expert, not at all. It's probably one of the very few electronic music styles I've never produced and probably will never. It's just too much like detailed small work in a small place, and I like more music that is doing everything with the melodies instead of technical music that's purely technical. And dubstep is pretty technical. I have the feeling that the track has a tiny bit too much high end, at least as far as I could hear it with the headphones. But it's nothing to worry about. This is like an easy fix in mastering, if it's even needed. That's a pretty good start for the track submits. Let's check out track number 2. It's by Todd Ripid and called Chess Club Champion. He's trying to stretch himself with genres and trying out things that are not in his comfort zone, which I think is really great to do, like tracks experimenting around, maybe not even release them, just to see what you're able to do, learn new things, and then implement them to your music that you release.
It's going down. Go.
That track is quite interesting. There's a lot going on. It's kind of a lot of tracks in one. It's not really my type of music. It stresses me a little out, but it's a good experiment, and I'm pretty sure that he learned something making it. And I actually know that the guy's making completely different music actually. So it's nice just to start something new, do something different. That's probably the only thing I really enjoyed about doing ghost productions, that you just make a new project, a new style every time. And it's kind of fun to always have that challenge to try to make something new. I think when you're an artist and you've found your sound, it can get quite repetitive, so that you produce tracks that always kind of sound the same. I try at least like slowly to change the sound into another direction. But it's not that easy. It's really, some people have trouble finding their sound. Some people have problems developing their sound into something else. Some don't even like their sound anymore. A lot of my DJ friends, or actually almost all of them, whenever I meet them, they tell me now we do just only this kind of music. And half a year later, they tell me, no, we switched to this kind of music and we're not doing that anymore. And I think whenever you switch, it's of course a new great opportunity. But you always also kind of neglect all of the fans that you already have. All of the people booking you for shows, they're basically gone if you switch your style too much. So you always set yourself kind of back. I think the simplest way to solve it is just starting another project with another name, another sound, and you can still play your gigs with your old artist name. The next track is by David. It's a remix he's working on, and he wants some feedback.
But you gotta be that
Cool house track. I really like this approach. I'm just assuming the vocals are from the original track. They sound good. The instrumental is also good and solid. It's like a melodic house kind of track. The mixing could be definitely better. I think it's not like the overall balance, because this is kind of right. There's enough high and enough low frequencies. But the elements don't really glue that well together, and I think by replacing some of the drum samples, this could sound way better. The kick is not the nicest. I think you need something that is a little bit more punchy, and also trying to separate the bass. I think another bass sound could do better on this track. A bass that you can hear a little bit more, that has more character than just being almost a sine wave that is underneath, especially for this housey or groovier kind of stuff. you need a baseline with character. And I actually got one more big news again. The track submits, as you might remember, were public. Everyone could send me tracks to be featured in those track submit editions. I then changed it because I got way too many emails, and also because I opened the Patreon account to give the people that are patrons a reward. Only they were allowed to submit tracks. This is now over. It's again public for everyone. I just made, instead of an email address, a little form that you have to fill out, because just way too many people were dragging their tracks right into the email. So have a whole lot of fun to just create tracks. Send me them whenever you think they're ready to get feedback. If you think that your track is good and fits from the style to my label, there's also the email address of the label down below, as well as the link to send those track submits. Which is really amazing. Vanessa will be an ant pretty soon. She's already...
Eine Ameise. Oh. And